.323 against the Mets with 10 base hits, no home runs.
He's going to step out of that batter's box, Ralph.
Way in the front of the batter's box, he hits the first pitch to Backman at second. One pitch, one away.
I'd love to see where that front foot landed when he hit that ball.
His lack of RBIs. He's been hitting third and second. He has only 49 RBIs.
A la Rod Carew. Rod Carew was that type of hitter. When he batted in the first slot, he was a real good hitter. If you moved him to the third slot, he'd still be a good hitter, but he wouldn't drive in the runs you expected from a guy who would bat .380.
And a mirror image right here in Tony Gwynn. And that pitch, a fastball, and the count 2 balls, no strikes. Gwynn hitting .357 against the Mets. Against Dwight Gooden, he's had 6 hits and 29 at bats. So he has not hit Gooden that well. 3 for 7 in this series, and the count at 2-1. Gwynn, a hometown boy, and he swings and fouls off the fastball. 2-2. Gwynn is second in the National League in on-base percentage at .441. Jack Clark leads the National League at .464. 2-2 the count. The curveball slips out, and it's 3-2. Once again, Gwynn ready to go. Dwight Gooden, 1-0 against the Padres this year. One of his 12 victories. He's lost 4. And he walks him. So Gwynn works out a walk, helping that on-base average.
7th inning. The Reds playing the Cardinals.
Mets 4.5 games back of the Cardinals. A throw to first. And in the Western Division, Cincinnati 6 back of San Francisco starting the action. The Giants lost today, though.
You know, this Cardinal Met Montreal scenario, it's almost like a tug of war between the teams.
Drive at Johnson, and over his head, a well-hit line drive. Wilson has it, throws into the cutoff man, and Gwynn goes to third on the 2-base hit by Carmelo Martinez.
Oh, that ball was scalded off the bat of Martinez. Well, they say a good fastball will supply all your power. Here's a good heater. Martinez with a nice fluid swing hit a rope into left center field.
That's his 4th hit in this series. He's now 4 for 8. As you look at the relay come in, and that ball just over the jump of Howard Johnson. So the Padres threaten here in the first. Runners at second and third and 1 out, and the batter will be John Kruk. And he pops up the first pitch to left field. It'll be deep enough to score a run. Gwynn tags up at third and comes in to score, and the Padres have the lead 1-0. Kruk hitting .328 with 18 home runs, gets his 80th run batted into the year. Martinez holds at second base, and so a runner at second with 2 men out, and the batter will be Benito Santiago. Santiago hitting .293 with 15 home runs, 67 runs batted in.
He's got a chance to be unanimous Rookie of the Year.
Brings a hitting streak into this ball game. He has hit in 8 consecutive games, batting .406 over that period, with 2 home runs and 7 runs batted in. Rookie catcher, and a very good one. And he hits the ball in the air to center field. Mookie tracking back is there. And Mookie makes the catch. So the Padres score first on a run.
He said it was the fans.
So Whitson now happy back in San Diego. He came to the Yankees from the Padres.
I think the Yankees did him a pretty good favor when they signed him as a free agent.
Big contract.
After his really only decent year. He won 14 games the year before.
And the first pitch to Lee Mazzilli, a breaking ball for ball 1. Mazzilli hitting .306 with 2 home runs, 20 runs batted in. This is Lee's 15th game start. He's hit .313 in his game starts with 1 home run and 24 runs batted in. Make that 13 runs batted in. And a swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. '84, he was signed by the Yankees after a 14-8 year. Ground ball in the hole, cut off by Flannery. Good play there. And Mazzilli is out. And this year he is the winningest pitcher on the Padres with a record of 10-9. In spite of the fact in his last 5 game starts he's had 2 losses and 3 no decisions. First pitch is strike 1 to Gary Carter, hitting at .238. And a backhand play at third by Randy Reddy. The throw to first is ready.
Right,
good play.
Money. Gary Carter.
And this ball popped up in the shallow left. Might drop in. Coming over is Martinez, and it does. Johnson on his way to second. The ball gets away from Martinez. It's picked up by Templeton, and Johnson ends up with a double.
His 16th double of the season. But last year, Tuffle wasn't doing the job.
And a swing and a miss, and Whitson picks up his second strikeout. That ends the inning. For us to wait and see, I guess. Randy hitting .299. Reddy hitting .299. Randy Reddy with 4 home runs and 38 runs batted in. Batting for the first time in this series.
Now, Randy Reddy was not in the original lineup tonight. Chris Brown was scheduled to start at third base, hit a ball off his foot during batting practice, and he's going to miss this start.
Brown not having too much success this year. Hitting .229 with 9 home runs, 30 runs batted in after batting .300 last year for the Giants. And Dwight Gooden with a fastball. 2 balls, 1 strike. Gooden gave up a run in the first on a walk to Tony Gwynn, a double by Martinez, and a sacrifice fly by John Truck. And that ball taking a bad hop going by Magadan. A big turn, and Reddy goes to halfway down the line and stops as McReynolds gets the ball back in.
You can lose your teeth playing third base. Best way to play this is ole. Watch this ball jump up. Looked like Magadan was comfortable with the bad hop. It just was unable to glove it. It's a base hit.
And a good job by McReynolds to get that ball in time to stop Reddy and hold him to a single. That'll bring up Gary Templeton. Templeton batting .221. 2 home runs, 31 runs batted in, a throw to first. The Padres are the second most prolific in stolen bases in the major league. Second to the Cardinals. They have 163. They've had 24 stolen bases in their last 14 games, so Gooden working on the base runner at first.
Mentioned 2 ball clubs, and both ball clubs run by gentlemen who managed in Kansas City and believed in the speed of a baseball player. Whitey Herzog with the St. Louis Cardinals, and Jack McKeon, the general manager of the Padres. Both of those guys managed in Kansas City.
And the fastball for ball 1. In the month of August, the Padres had 47 stolen bases, so they are a running ball club.
I think Charlie Finley showed the world that you need a couple guys in the front of your order that are going to run, steal bases.
Ground ball is short. They'll have to hurry to get 2. There's 1, and they get the other. Fine job by Backman on the pivot as Johnson got it started. Not an easy man to double up. Gary Templeton.
And Wally Backman stayed right there. Watch Backman. A lot of second basemen will get out of there. He catches it, stays right there, gets the ball to first. That's his background in wrestling in high school. Stays right in there and flips the ball to Hernandez. They just do get Templeton at first base.
So no one on now, and 2 men out, and Tim Flannery the batter. And this ball blooped into center field for a base hit. Flannery hitting .255 with no home runs and 18 runs batted in. Picks up his first hit of the series. He's now 1 for 6. And is trailing 1-0, bottom half of the second. That pitch a ball. Dwight, without a strikeout, came into this game with 99 strikeouts in 132 innings pitched. Right back through the middle, and Johnson, a great play to come up with it. He throws it away, and all hands are safe. Johnson had a lot more time than he figured, but he hurried his throw when he realized he couldn't get the force play at second and made a bad throw to first. But he made a great stop.
Boy, great range going to his left. And Howard Johnson just flips the ball to first base. Ralphie hit it right in the nose. Howard didn't realize he had more time with Whitson going down the first baseline. Boy, that's a shortstop stop right there. A third baseman with good range at shortstop.
It'll be scored as a base hit, so runners at first and second with 2 men out. The batter will be Stan Jefferson. Well, Fran, you've been talking all along that there's a good possibility that Howard Johnson might be a shortstop for the Mets in the near future.
I think Davey wants him to play shortstop because he has confidence that Howard Johnson can play short, and he knows what he can do with a bat in his hand.
And the first pitch to Jefferson, a ball. A shortstop that can hit you 35 home runs is a pretty good asset.
Probably make some money doing that.
A fellow named Ernie Banks could do that.
And this guy's 26 years old. Howard's a young player, just like Kevin McReynolds. You know, these guys have, McReynolds has established himself for a few years. He's not that old.
And it's driven into left center field. It'll be extra bases unless Reynolds makes a catch. McReynolds makes the dive. He tosses it back in. Did he catch it or did he not?
I don't think he caught it.
The third base umpire, Charlie Williams, said he didn't catch it. So it will go as a base hit, a two-base hit, and the Padres get another run as Flannery scores from second.
Well, here it is again. Ball hit off the bat of Stanley Jefferson. McReynolds, he didn't catch his ball. Looked like he tried. You know something? It looked like he did catch it. Get another look. Nah, hit the ground first. My first reaction was he trapped it.
It was close. There's no doubt about it, but it appeared that the ball did hit the ground just in front of his glove.
And you can't look at Kevin McReynolds and say he's not arguing the play, because I don't think that's his personality.
So with Tony Gwynn, the batter, they're going to walk him intentionally with first base open. And pitch to the right-hand batter, Carmelo Martinez, who doubled his first time up. 3 straight base hits and now an intentional walk to load up the bases. So it's ball 4 to Tony Gwynn, his second walk in the game. And it will bring up Carmelo Martinez.
Well, they're still tied at Busch Stadium in St. Louis at 1 apiece. Cincinnati batting in the 8th inning.
Martinez lined a double over the shortstop's head his first time up. Whitson, the runner at third base. Jefferson, the runner at second. Padres leading 2-0. 2 men out, bottom half of the second. And Gooden's first pitch outside for ball 1.
And a curveball. He started Martinez off with a curveball. If you recall last time up, Martinez hit a bullet off of his fastball. A lot of times the pitcher will shy away from that pitch after it's hammered.
Gooden, of course, a fastball pitcher with a good curve. 6-2 lifetime against the Padres. And he goes to the fastball. It's ball 2. Martinez hitting .260 with 11 home runs, 58 runs batted in. And contending with Dwight Gooden with a record of 12-4. Martinez has hit Gooden well. He's 6 for 16 against him with only 2 strikeouts. No runs batted in. And the count at 2-0. Hard ground ball to short. Johnson has it. The throw to second just in time as Backman makes the play, and that'll do it. But in the inning, a run scored by the Padres on 4 hits. 3 men were left to score at the end of 2. The Padres 2, the Mets nothing.
Not too many in a ballpark, it's safe to say. I'm gonna get up.
That gave it away. Yeah.
Man, from San Diego. General manager out here for how many years? 5 years.
That brought the house down.
They're getting emotionally involved in that quiz. Well, here it is on the board. They play the Wheel of Fortune out here. Look at that name, Hall of Famer. Guess who it is? There it is. Ralph Kiner. This place went crazy out here when that went up on the board.
Yeah, they really brought the house down, didn't they? All 14,000 stood up and cheered. You couldn't even hear it across the street. Now we're going to the top of the 3rd. Mets trailing 2-0, and the leadoff batter for the Mets, Dwight Gooden. Gooden hitting .229, 11 base hits. On the mound, Ed Whitson, and a fastball fouled away. 2 strikes to count. As you know, Fran, we were trying to set up a little golf tournament over in Palm Springs at PGA West tomorrow for the coaches, and Davey Johnson and a few others. Our director here today, Bill Webb, who is the consummate favorite for that tournament tomorrow.
To pick up the tab because he's going to lose.
And a swing and a miss, and Gooden is out. R-A-L-P-H-K-I-N-E-R to my son. That's pretty good. And now the batter will be Mookie Wilson. Mookie got an infield base hit his first time up, batting now at .300. On the mound, Ed Whitson. He misses high in the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Mookie in his last 18 games with 20 hits and 49 at bats. Needs 1 more run scored to have 500 in his major league career, and there's a strike, 1 and 2.
Well, Cincinnati's taking the lead in St. Louis, 3-1 in the 8th inning.
That's trailing by 4.5. The magic number is 26. Any combination of wins by St. Louis or losses by the Mets, that total 26 will give it to the Cardinals. There's a drive down the right field line, a great carom right at Tony Gwynn, and Mookie, who normally would have a 2-base hit in that play, is stopped at first base as that ball came off the wall right at Tony Gwynn. You got to give him a lot of credit.
Oh, you think he knows his ballpark? You think he's practiced this a few times? Watch where Gwynn goes. He says it's going to come right here, so I'm going to be here. Makes the play and gets the ball back in. Mookie Wilson, a good base runner. A wise man also, hung on at first.
You got to know the nooks and crannies, and that certainly was a cranny right there.
I don't think outfielders, when they go to opposing ballparks, when they go on the road, they don't learn the nooks and crannies, and that's a big mistake.
Mookie a threat to steal at first base with 18 stolen bases in 22 attempts. Mets trailing 2-0, 1 man out, and the batter's Dave Magadan. Magadan grounded into a force play his first time up. Good hit and run man. Magadan makes good contact and has a good eye. Mookie with an average lead, not a big one. And that pitch inside. Santiago throws to first. Too late. Santiago with a great throwing arm, and he throws a lot from his knees.
It's dangerous to do this, but he does it so well right now. I think if he threw it away a couple times, he'd have second thoughts about throwing from his knees. I think maybe his idol might have been Tony Pena. Manny Sanguillen used to do that a lot also.
Swing and a miss, 1 ball, 1 strike. He throws to second occasionally from his knees, and he's got that kind of an arm to do it. Magadan came into this game hitting .364 against the Padres with 4 hits and 11 at bats. Now at .333 as Mookie gets another throw. Magadan in his last 22 games coming in hitting .431. And again the breaking ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. The Mets are second in the National League in team hitting with .270. Cardinals are hitting .272, and the Mets are second in runs scored with 664 to the Cardinals. And again, the pitch down around the knees called a strike by Jim Quick. Magadan didn't like that call. It's 2-2.
It's funny, you watch Santiago catch a ball. He doesn't lose his aggressiveness catching the ball. You're better off to be a little bit more passive and relaxed.
There goes Mookie. The pitch is low. The throw is wide, and Mookie is called out. The tag is made by Templeton, and Templeton must have tagged him as he was coming across the bag, taking the throw on the second base side.
Well, one thing that will help a catcher with a good arm is a guy who isn't afraid to catch the ball no matter what. Watch Templeton go right into the runner. Good call. Excellent call. Second base umpire John Kibler on top of that play. Good throw by Santiago, getting it down in a hurry, and Templeton going after it.
And a line drive off the glove of Kruk, and it goes into right field for a base hit. So the stolen base attempt taking Mookie Wilson off the bases, and then Magadan with a following base hit. That'll bring up Keith Hernandez. Keith struck out looking his first time up as Whitson got him with a fastball. Keith hitting .300 for the year. 14 home runs, 70 runs batted in. Padres leading 2-0. Top half of the 3rd inning. Keith Hernandez in his last 39 games hitting .336. And the fastball a strike. Hernandez with a 17-game hitting streak, the longest by a Met player this year, and second in the National League to Terry Pendleton's 19 straight games. This ball hit deep to right, and this ball game is tied. Keith Hernandez with a long home run, and the Mets tie it at 2.
Listen to the fans here in San Diego. There are more Met fans than Padre fans. Number 15 for Keith Hernandez. And there's a saying in baseball, when you hit a ball like that, they'll ask you in the dugout, did you get it all? I gotta believe Keith Hernandez got all of this pitch. Here it is again. Ball out over the plate. He goes out and hammers this ball way back into the seats. Tony Gwynn knew the ball was gone. And for Hernandez, number 15, and he picks up 2 RBIs, so he's now at 72.
And the batter is Kevin McReynolds, and he takes the first pitch for strike 1. Listen to this, Fran. That's home run number 31 given up by Ed Whitson this year.
Whoa.
And this ball lined down the line on the left field side, but foul. And Cincinnati 3, St. Louis 1 that game in the top of the 9th inning.
Just went up a few moments ago on the scoreboard, and Hernandez, the next Cardinal, goes to the plate and hits a ball way back into the seats.
And this one topped off to the first base side. Woodson with time, and he makes the play to retire the side. But the Mets tied on the 2-run home run by Keith Hernandez. They had 3 hits in the inning. Leave none. The score at the end of 2.5. The Mets 2 and the Padres 2.
Ball.
We're going to the bottom half of the third. 2-2 game, and John Kruk, the batter. John drove in a run in the first with a sacrifice fly. He has had a career year with home runs, 18, and runs batted in with 80. Batting .328, third in the National League in hitting, and he takes that pitch for ball 2, 2-0. Gooden has not had a strikeout. He has walked 2, one of the walks intentional, and has given up 2 runs on 5 hits. Check swing, bouncing ball to third. Magadan has it. 1 away. 7 runs batted in, 18 stolen bases. That's quite a year for a catcher, plus being a fine defensive catcher. Brought a 7-8 game hitting streak into this game. Flied out to center field his first time up.
Larry Boa very high on this guy. I saw Larry after the game last night. He can't say enough good things about Santiago. You know who else he's very high on? Lenny Dykstra.
Really? You're going to make a trade then?
Who knows?
They're not happy with their center field situation, that I know.
Yeah, that's right.
Two balls, no strikes to Santiago. And the fastball fouled away, 2-1. San Diego Padres' #1 farm club is in Las Vegas, Nevada, and they also have a minor league ball club in Reno, Nevada. Now, if you got a gambling problem, you don't want to be in the Padre organization.
Now, somebody in the front office must like those two towns.
They are good cities. They do draw well. 2-1 pitch. Drilled to right field over the head of Mazzilli and off of the wall. Santiago into second base and in with a stand-up double, and he extends his hitting streak to 9 consecutive games. And that ball was really hit.
Well, he missed a home run by inches. Boy, he tattoos this ball. Santiago going right into that pitch, hitting the ball with authority the other way, right off the top of the wall.
An infield base hit. Bouncing the ball out toward third base. Reddy hitting .300 for the year, actually .302. And the fastball a strike. Reddy with 4 home runs, 38 runs batted in, has been up 265 times. Runner goes, a big jump, but the ball is fouled off, and a big break for the Mets. There's no doubt about it. Santiago had third base all wrapped up.
You pick your pitch, and here's Santiago with a walking lead. Look at that. Nice walking lead off of second base and a big jump. That walking lead, I'm telling you, you can get some kind of jump. But if you're his size, he's about 6'3". It's a good way to get a pretty good lead off the base. You don't take as big a lead, but you have momentum going towards the next base.
So now Gooden checks him out this time and comes back and misses high.
That's the way to stop a guy at the next base.
And the breaking ball swung on a miss, and Gooden picks up his first strikeout. Up, Templeton rounded into a double play his first time up.
And the doctor taking a look at Santiago. Of course, 2 men down now.
Not quite that important if he steals third base with 2 men out. And the first pitch to Templeton, grounded foul. Good this year.
Oh, he's done a good job, though.
1 strike to count. And a line shot curving into foul territory. So another ball hit on the good part of the bat and hit hard, but just foul. He actually hit that ball about as solidly as you could.
So you're concerned. If you're the Met
manager. Gets your attention.
Yeah.
Only 1 strikeout and some hard hit balls. So Dwight Gooden not showing that he has any movement on the ball, especially the fastball. He hasn't been able to get the curve over, although he picked up his first strikeout on a curveball when he struck out Randy Reddy. One thing about Davey Johnson, he has the patience of Job.
Which Job?
John.
He does have patience.
2 strikes to count. And that one for a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He does that. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2-2. But he is in a position to be the #1 man in that department as soon as he acquires some more wins if he stays this way. Fly ball to center field. Mookie Wilson is there. And that'll do it. So the double with 1 man out, wasted. And the score at the end of 3 as Tim McCarver joins Fran Healy. The Mets 2 in the.
What to think of that? All right.
They're enjoying themselves.
A few moves. That'll keep your weight down.
Yeah.
Never see a break dancer that's heavy.
You break dance at all?
No.
Not at all, huh?
No, I'm no break dancer. I'm too old to break dance. I'm a ballroom dancer, pal.
A ballroom dancer. Lee Mazzilli. Right out of Saturday Night Live at the plate. He pops the ball up left field. Carmelo Martinez is there, and he gloves it. 1 down. Cardinals in the bottom of the 9th, 3-1. The batter will be Gary Carter.
John Franco's in that game in Cincinnati. He's number 31. Ken Daly, the pitcher for the Cardinals. Danny Cox started that game for St. Louis. And a reminder that the Cardinals series is sold out. That's a week from this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And also a reminder to please, if you're coming to those games, take mass transportation. Take the A train.
Oh, what a series.
Duke Ellington.
What a series that's going to be in New York. Keep in mind the Cardinals still play the Montreal Expos, who Whitey Herzog told me give them a lot of trouble. So a lot of baseball still left to be played here in 1987. 2-1 on Gary Carter, 1 man down. Carter bounced out his first time up, and he swings through a fastball. 2-2. Gary's father has been in town for these 3 games in San Diego. Had a tremendous influence on Gary's baseball career. He coached him throughout his amateur years.
Yep, a final there. So the Mets technically 4 games behind the Cardinals.
And Gary Carter goes down swinging. 1 down, 2 down. So 2 men out. Ed Whitson throwing the ball pretty well. He made a mistake to Keith Hernandez, and Keith Hernandez hit it way back in the seats in right field with a man aboard, and that's how the Mets tied this ball game up. Padres scored 1 in the bottom of the first, 1 in the bottom of the second, and the Mets tied it in the top of the 3rd. Here's a guy who can put you in the seats in a hurry. He's doubled in this ball game, Howard Johnson. He doubled right down the left field line his first time up. And he takes outside, ball 1. So the U.S. Open is now being played in Flushing. The Mets will be back next week. Everything happening in Flushing, New York. Here's a strike.
3 games against the Phillies Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night. And Dwight Gooden will be going in that game on Monday night against the Phillies, which would mean that he would probably pitch game 2 of the Cardinals series. That would be Saturday evening.
And Howard Johnson gets jammed, ground ball to Crook, who goes to Whitson covering first. And that'll do it for the Mets here.
Danny Cox, the loser. So it could be Cox and Gooden a week from Saturday. That's who it'll probably be. Danny Cox and Dwight Gooden, both of them pitching tonight.
Shea Stadium will be rocking next week. The Phillies and the Cardinals.
And the Cubs come to town for 2.
Oh boy. Fly ball left field. Kevin McReynolds makes the catch, so Tim Flannery's out. He's 1 for 2 in this game.
You know,
and the Mets in the heat of a pennant fight with the St. Louis Cardinals. As Tim mentioned, the Mets can pick up a full game tonight if they win this game. They'll be 3.5 back. Ed Whitson, the batter, he had an infield hit his first time up. Really was a great play by Howard Johnson, ranging far to his left and then throwing the ball off of first base. He had more time than he thought to catch Ed Whitson, but he was unable to do so. So Hojo seeing some playing time in the heat of the pennant race at shortstop. Gutsy move on the part of Davey Johnson. 2-0 on Whitson And now it's 2-1.
Well, what he may lose a little bit in defense on the left side, he's going to gain in offense. Rather have Magadan in there and Santana, but you do lose something on defense.
And a soft liner to second base, if there is such a thing. 2 outs.
Strawberry technically 2 days off. You want to bolster up some other area in your offense. So in the process, you're going to lose a little defensively. You're going to lose defensively in right field because Strawberry, a much better arm than Lee Mazzilli, and the left side of the infield. So while the Mets are probably worse off defensively tonight, they're probably at least as well off offensively.
And Davey really an offensive manager. Stanley Jefferson, the batter, takes up high, ball 1. Keeping in mind Santana is having a pretty good year offensively. Got a big hit in last night's ball game. There's a chopper to first. Hernandez goes to Gooden. And that'll do it for the Padres here in the bottom of the 4th. 3 up, 3 down. At the end of 4, it's all.
No. He's. Do you know Mark? Do you know Mark? We'll meet him. Say hello, Mark. No, now here. He wants to see your face now. Now say hello, Mark. Mark's.
Tope is just headed for LaGuardia Airport.
Yeah. You ever seen him? He's very wealthy, big, good-looking guy for Sports Channel.
He'll be
big,
flying out
wealthy.
here tomorrow.
Independently wealthy.
Does this just for fun. They've got Tope strapped in that chair back there. He's rolling towards the door.
Strap his hands in.
And Backman batting .267, 1 home run, 2 RBIs. Batting 8th in the lineup tonight. He skies one to left field, way back in left field. Martinez is there, makes the catch. 1 down. Ball 1.
From what we understand and from what we can piece together, Mike Marshall, who was on the disabled list for the Dodgers, took batting practice and then came and sat in the Dodger dugout.
Fly ball right field. Tony Gwynn hustles over and makes the catch. 2 outs.
And when he sat down, Phil Garner, better known as Scrap Iron, coming over from the Houston Astros, asked Marshall if he was going to go out and take some ground balls. Marshall said no. An argument ensued, and Marshall reportedly said, "Do you want a piece of me?" Garner obviously did and took one.
Yes, he did.
And Marshall left the ballpark in a much worse state, we understand, than he arrived. That's all we have on that story right now, and we'll try to update it if the update is given to us.
And Mookie Wilson unable to check his swing. Strike 1. Mookie in this ball game is 2 for 2, an infield hit his first time up and a single to right.
Hard to believe Mike Marshall a head taller than Phil Garner, but
yeah.
Phil Garner is not called Scrap Iron for nothing.
That's right. Foul ball.
He will fight and can fight. There are a lot of ball players who will fight. Most ball players can't fight. They go to the post and they don't look good when the fight ensues. They're baseball players. Very few have been trained in the art of boxing.
Ray Knight,
one of the few.
Yeah. Outside to Mookie Wilson, 1 and 2. Mike Marshall has been experiencing back trouble throughout his career, so I'm sure it's a lot sorer now than when he got to the ballpark today. It's tough to fall on that bad back. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So Ed Whitson pitching a good ball game so far, striking out Mookie Wilson. Bottom of the 5th inning. Dwight Gooden against Ed Whitson. Fastball misses, ball 1.
And a side note in that game in San Francisco this afternoon, Candy Maldonado's bat was confiscated in that game by manager Buck Rogers and the Expos. I'm telling you, but don't you think that's getting a little out of hand?
Yeah, I really do. Although what I thought it was ironic yesterday, the guy that got a bat check this year was Hal Lanier, manager of the Astros.
Billy Hatcher, his outfielder. And from watching the replay on ESPN, he was using Dave Smith's bat. The bat came apart, and Billy said it was the same model he was using. Now, why would a relief pitcher cork his bat?
Yeah, I know.
That doesn't make any sense. He's only going to have a chance to hit, what, 5 times a game, 6 times a game. Well, let's go to the American League.
2 in this ball game. 1 man down. Gooden's first pitch. There's a strike. I think I'd be more concerned with the scuffed ball because that ball will do something than the loaded bat. Although I don't think it's ever been proven or disproven whether or not the ball travels further. I guess that's in the eyes of the beholder, so to speak.
Of the holder,
Of
maybe.
the holder.
In the hands of the holder.
You know, the ironic thing is Billy Hatcher got an infield hit when they grabbed the loaded bat from him.
And was ejected from the ball game.
The 0-2 pitch to Martinez. Fly ball right field. It might drop, and it does in foul territory.
I heard a great story last night. You and Ralph were talking about Greg Nettles when they found those, what were those, balls?
Yeah.
Those little balls in his bat. And his bat was broken, and the balls came out. Well, Frank Ryan used to be the guy that you took your bat order from Louisville Slugger.
Yes.
And Nettles gets on second base and tells Gary Sutherland, who was playing second for the Cleveland Indians, he said, you know, I don't trust Frank anymore for sending me a bat like that.
I heard that, sir. It's a great story. Only Nettles.
He said Frank Ryan, the guy who had the bat order at Louisville Slugger, was responsible for sending him that bat with the balls in the end of it.
He is a character. Greg Nettles. 1-2 now on Martinez. Nettles, of course, played out here last year. Now with the Atlanta Braves. Ball down low, 2-2.
There's a correction, by the way, up in Dodger Stadium. It's 2-0 Philadelphia over the Dodgers, not 3-2 as previously reported.
I thought you were going to say there was a correction in the fight up in Los Angeles.
No.
Two-two pitch. Good breaking ball. Strike 3. Gooden really starting to break that curve ball off.
Well, Doc serving his internship the first 2 innings, I guess you could say. Now he's in his residency.
Right now he'll face John Crook, who's 0 for 1, also has the sacrifice fly in this ball game. It's all tied at 2. Padres and the Mets. Gooden to Hernandez. In time, scored 1-3. That'll do it for the Pods. Here in the 5th, 3 up, 3 down. At the end of 5, we got a tie ball game at 2. And then Kevin McReynolds at 282. Top of the 6th inning, San Diego, California. Foul ball. Bill Robinson making a valiant effort after getting hammered by a pitch off the bat of Greg Jeffries in batting practice. Bill was hitting. He's a gamer. He's out there. The 0-1 pitch to Magadan. Down low. 1-1.
Well, he's coaching at first, and Chris Brown, who hammered one off his knee, was scratched from the lineup tonight.
So one's a gamer and one's not.
Well, that's the reputation Chris Brown is carrying from San Francisco, and you just hate to see a young player like that who thinks that he has to feel well all the time to play the game. I mean, you don't feel well when you play every day. You're hurting somewhere all the time, I guarantee you.
1-2 pitch.
Gibson used to say, you got to distinguish early in your career between pain and an injury. If you're in pain, you've got to play. If you're injured, you can't play. And when you foul a ball off your foot or your knee or something like that, it's not really strong language to say that if it ain't broken, baby, you got to be playing.
Yeah.
Just because it's swollen, big deal. So what? You might get away with absenteeism in the Soviet Union, but not in baseball.
I like that. How did the Soviet Union get involved in this?
I have no idea.
What are you reading? Time magazine again today?
Hyperbolic examples again. Reading the sporting news and the way the Muscovites do it.
And Dave Magadan unable to check his swing. Good pitch from Ed Whitson. 1 down. Talking about Moscow, they're getting involved with baseball now.
That's right. I understand you're going over as an advisor.
Of course.
An advisor for catching and broadcasting. It's a dual role.
Oh, yeah. You'll be there, won't you?
Oh, yeah.
Shortstop at first base.
Some long road trips over there.
Oh, boy.
Do you know that it's farther from Leningrad to Vladivostok than it is from New York to Leningrad? That's how big the Soviet Union is. It is farther. Now, imagine that. From Leningrad to Vladivostok, a town with which you are, I'm sure, related.
I like
heard
that
of
town.
the Vladivostok Sheraton there. No, it's farther from Leningrad to Vladivostok than it is from New York to Leningrad. Now, you got an ocean over which to go.
Yeah.
New York to Leningrad. You got to go over the Atlantic Ocean. So it's long road trips. That's what you have to look forward to.
Boy.
Not a lot of air travel over there.
Now you get a lot of trains, I understand.
Trains, yeah. Trans-Siberian.
How would you like
Imagine traveling with Bill Webb on the Trans-Siberian Express.
That'd be a tough road trip. Inside to Keith Hernandez.
I'd love to get Bill Webb in a Hearts game on the Trans-Siberian Express.
Hey, I'll tell you one thing. You guys take advantage of him on these short hops in California. One man down. And Kevin McReynolds the batter. Keith Hernandez now down on first base. Ground ball is short. Templeton the second to 1 to first. A pitcher's delight. 6-4-3 double play. That'll do it for the Mets. Here in the top of the 6th. They fail to score after 5.5. It's all tied at 12. Okay. Well, you mentioned the hotels. Anyways, it's Santiago batting last night. He was 2 for 4. Had a solo home run and a single. In this ball game, he's 1 for 2. He hammered a double off the right field wall, just missing a home run. And he takes a strike.
Penalty might be a little more severe for corking a bat. the league president.
They never see you again. By the way, we'd like to welcome those viewers who just joined us from New York Sports Nightly with Lee Zeidman. I'm sure Lee tuning into this ball game now. The Mets in a pennant fight. Final game of this 3-game series. They're all tied at 2. Day off tomorrow. Sports Channel will bring you the game Friday night from Dodger Stadium, first of 3. Strike 3 to Santiago, 1 down.
Oh boy, that was a buzz ball right there. That fastball in on the hands of Santiago. And you talk about mustard on it. Man, Gooden buzz that ball right in on the letters.
A buzz ball.
Buzz ball.
I've never heard that one before. A buzz
Come
ball.
out with new material. It's a pennant race, man.
A buzz ball with mustard on it. There it is again. Strike 1. Randy Reddy, a late replacement for Chris Brown, who hit a ball off his leg. Ground ball, fair ball. So Randy Reddy is hustling to second base, and he's got himself a double.
And I guarantee you, if some scouts were at the ball game right now, they'd say Magadan's got to be guarding the line. Well, there's just no way Magadan should be on the line, in my opinion. You got Dwight Gooden pitching against Randy Reddy, who hits the ball the other way. Occasionally you get burned in the late innings by not guarding the line. Sometimes you may take a step if the shortstop can tell you breaking ball's coming or whatever. You can kind of lean toward third. A lot of shortstop and second baseman have signals with the third and first baseman, as you see Lance McCullers warming now.
And the batter now is Gary Templeton.
Reason for that, the middle infielders can see the sign. So if the breaking ball is coming, it might be a word sign or a number or something like that. And they get the third or first baseman to kind of lean.
Base hit right field. Reddy should score easily. Ball's got to be cut up. No, ball's over Hernandez's head. And the hustling Gary Templeton into second base.
Yeah, well, it's one of those situations where you can have a cutoff man because Hernandez went for the ball, so there's no cutoff man. Watch Hernandez go for the ball. Keith slips right there, so he can't get back up to be the cutoff man. And Mazzilli, unfortunately, doesn't hit Keith, who is shallow there. Lee's ball with Lee's arm, really, he's got to go to second base. There's no way you're going to get a guy like Randy ready. Yeah, that ball should be thrown to second base because there is no cutoff man.
Well, it's now 3-2 in a big game here in San Diego. The Padres on top of the Mets. Keep in mind that the Cardinals lost their ball game to the Reds tonight. The Mets have a golden opportunity. The batter, Tim Flannery, who's 1 for 2. There's a strike. So McCullers in the bullpen. Marvell Wynn with the bat in his hand. So he'll pinch hit for Ed Whitson. I thought Whitson was throwing the ball pretty well tonight.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised at that. I could understand it in a tie ball game, but I'm a little surprised with the Padres on top now. Unless there was pardon me, Fran, unless there was an injury, it looks like Lance McCullers will be the pitcher in the top of the 7th inning.
Yeah, I'm really surprised they're going to remove Whitson unless he has a reputation as a 6-7 inning pitcher. Foul out of play, so it's 1-2 on Tim Flannery. One-two pitch. Inside. 2-2.
Boy, Flannery really choking up on that bat. Gooden is throwing the ball well. Just his location, a little wild in the strike zone tonight. He's given up 8 hits. He has struck out 4. Kind of wild in the middle of the plate, not really making his pitches inside and outside.
Two pitches foul off. So the count remains the same.
Padres the type of club that could give Gooden problems because they don't have a lot of big swingers. They have about half as many home runs as the Mets. The Mets would be a ball club that Gooden could pitch effectively against because of all their free swingers.
Davey Johnson. 2-2 on Tim Flannery. Gary Carter flashing a lot of signs with the runner on second base. And a ground ball to Hojo, who goes to first, and they get Flannery 2 down.
Boy, a note just flashed on the board that Kevin Bass tonight, hitting 2 home runs, 1 left-handed and 1 right-handed, became the first National League player ever to do that twice in 1 season.
Surprising.
Yeah, it is. Well, Whitson's going to hit now.
That's surprising because they had Marvell Wynn on deck.
Yeah. Usually when Wynn gets up there, when a pinch hitter gets up there, that's usually it.
Well, anyways, Ed Whitson's the batter. He's been pitching well tonight. Runner on third base, Gary Templeton. 2 men down here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Good breaking ball for a strike. So the Mets once again packing people into ballparks throughout the country. There'll be a big crowd in Los Angeles on Friday night. They're packing them in New York. They're in a pennant fight. Down low to Whitson. 1-1. Nothing. 1-1 pitch, fouled off. A lot of times when you wear that long shirt and you tend to perspire, it runs down into the hands, because that's why they have the rosin bag. 1-2 pitch. Ball 2, 2-2. Do you wear sweatbands when you played?
No.
A lot of guys.
I didn't wear long sleeve shirts either. I couldn't stand wool shirts.
Didn't like them, huh?
No, no. Cotton occasionally, not wool.
2-2 pitch. Ground ball to the right side. Nice play, Backman to first in time. Score it 4-3. A four-star play by Wally Backman, and that'll do it for the Padres. They leave a runner stranded at third, but they pick up 1 run. Ralph will join Tim at the end of 6. It's 3.
Stock line to John Kruk at first. 1 out.
Well, Kruk was guarding the line. He's only a step away, and that's all he needed. As he takes that ball away from Lee Mazzilli, that ball probably would have been foul if it had gotten by him.
Gary Carter, the batter. It's not that you never guard the line. We certainly don't mean to imply that. But baseball tradition is that you always guard the line. Kruk off the line right now, but Randy ready at third. You certainly can't quibble with that. But Carter lines it up the middle for a base hit. So Gary at first base, 1 out, and the batter Howard Johnson.
Number 20, shortstop, Howard Johnson.
Time called out there at first base. They're going to put a pinch runner in for Gary Carter. Carter 1 for 3 with that base hit, and he represents the time run. So they're going for a pinch run. It's going to be Keith Miller, who really can only pinch run. He had that dislocated finger when he came up and played so well for the Mets, and he has not been able to bat since then.
Well, if you take a look at that finger on his right hand, then you'd understand why he could not hit. It is a mess. There is a huge lump in his middle knuckle, and he cannot swing the bat, but he is the pinch runner for Gary Carter. In all probability, Keith will have that operated on after the season is over. Here's Howard Johnson. When Tim Tuffle and Wally Backman were put on the disabled list, Keith Miller was called up. He did a super job for the Mets, and he injured that finger diving into third base at the Big O in Montreal. That's how it happened. He played with it, finished the game with it. It was dislocated.
Batted .366 in the 11 games that he played for the Mets.
Fastball inside, the throw to first. So Santiago, that snap throw to first. Roger McDowell now up and throwing. This obviously an important game, as they all are, with the Mets trying to close in on the Cardinals. They're presently 4 games behind St. Louis. Almost hit Johnson. A good play by Santiago. 2-0 to Howard.
That's with 30 games to play, which includes this one. Right here, Santiago coming out, backhanding the ball, keeping it from being a wild pitch as he makes a good move on it. And Miller has to hold it first.
After tonight's game, the Mets will have 13 games to play at home and 16 on the road. Well hit, deep right field, out of here. Howard Johnson, the Mets lead it 4-3.
Well, we're taking the feed of the San Diego Padres, and that signed cork bat punched up by the San Diego director. But no cork bat for Howard Johnson. That ball was just pure talent as he drove it out of the park and gave the Mets the lead.
So it's 4-3. Johnson on the 2-0 count.
Look at this fastball down and in, and there's just no doubt about it. Johnson with his 34th home run, and he picks up his 89th RBI.
Tapper towards short. Templeton throws out Wally Backman. So now we'll see if Gooden bats for himself. McDowell has sat down in the bullpen, and Dwight's going to be the batter. Howard Johnson, home run number 34, RBIs number 88 and 89 on the year. Mercy that ball left this park in a hurry. He won the first game of this series with a 10th inning home run off Keith Comstock Monday night, and now he puts the Mets ahead.
That is home run number 32 given up by Whitson this year.
Swing and a miss. 0-2 to Gooden. All of the Mets runs in this game coming off the home run ball. A 2-run homer by Hernandez, his 15th, and now Howard Johnson. Johnson now one shy of Rip Collins' record by a switch hitter, home run record by a switch hitter in the National League. Gooden down on strikes, but too little too late so far. 2 runs on 2 hits and none left after 6.5. 4-3 New York. Now let's go to Lee Zeidman in our studios. Could walk around the bases after Johnson hit that ball. He wasn't a pinch runner, was he?
Oh, I'll tell you, he just
pinch
cruised
loper.
in. Yeah.
Stan Jefferson, the batter. Stan on the night is 1 for 3. He doubled in the second, and he wanted to bunt, but the fastball is low. 1-0 to Jefferson. 4-3 New York, bottom of the 7th.
Talking about switch hitting home runs in the season, Rip Collins with 35 back in 1934, the major league record 54 by Mickey Mantle back in 1961.
Fastball strike, 1-1 to Jefferson. Eight hits for the Padres, 7 for the Mets. Good breaking ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Stan Jefferson. Gooden has given up single runs in the 1st, 2nd, and 6th. Trying to win his 13th game of the year.
Backman saved him a run with that great play to end the 6th inning on Ed Whitson.
Little looper to center. Wilson makes the play. Ball had too much hang time, and Jefferson's out of there. The batter, Tony Gwynn. Tony 0 for 1 on the night. He walked in the 1st, was intentionally passed in the 2nd. Those are the only 2 walks given up by Gooden. And he struck out in the 5th inning. Curveball, the appeal play. Charlie Williams says no. So it's 1 ball, no strikes to Tony Gwynn. Outside and high, 2-0.
Gwynn has struck out only 31 times this year. He's a very tough man to strike out. Leading the National League in hitting. He will be a 2-time batting champion after this year.
Fouled away, 2-1. He entered the game batting .36969. Wade Boggs in the American League was batting 3-6-9-6-0.
Boggs went 0 for 4 today.
2-1 to Tony Gwynn. Curveball tapped toward first. Hernandez 2 away. Gooden entered the game second in the National League in earned run average. He has now worked 138 2/3 innings, so he will qualify for the earned run championship. Orel Hershiser ahead of him, and Orel tonight has given up 3 runs to the Phillies in 5 innings. In order to qualify, you need 162 innings of work to qualify for the earned run championship. This one lifted to right center field by Carmelo Martinez, and Lee Mazzilli makes the catch, and Gooden retires the Padres in order for the 3rd time this evening. It's 4-3 New York after 7. Trying to sweep the Padres. And Ralph, I guess you could say that the Mets are like ants at a family picnic. As far as the Cardinals are concerned, they just refuse to go away, don't they?
Keep coming at them, and the Mets, if they win this game tonight, picking up a full game on the Cardinals, they'll be 3.5 back.
Mookie Wilson takes ball 1. Mookie a good night. He's 2 for 3 on the evening. Fouled off the mask of Santiago. 1-1 to Mookie. Mets fade back and come back at the Cardinals. They were 5-4. The Mets with a golden opportunity to pick up some ground. They played 19 out of 23 at home, and during that span they were 13-10, which, considering their good home record, is not good. They were 5-4 against the coast teams at Shea. And on this trip, they've won their first 4 out of 5 and are ahead in this one 4-3.
Mets at home with a record of 41-27. On the road, they're 34-30, with this game still up for grabs.
Fouled away. 2-2 to Wilson. Ball 3. 3-2.
Cardinals had only 4 hits in their ball game with Cincinnati today. Each team scored in the first, and then the 2-run home run in the 8th by Cincinnati.
Blew that one by Wilson. Could have been ball 4. That strikeout number 7. Make that number 8 for Whitson, and that is a season high for Ed. He struck out 7 against the Cubs back on July 21st. He hasn't won a ball game since July 31st. Here's Rafael Santana. So Lions will bat 6th. We understand. Santana batting 2nd. Swing and a miss at the slider. Santana batting .265 on the year, his first at bat of the evening. One and 1. Little looper right side, but not deep enough. Tim Flannery makes the play. 2 outs here in the 8th inning. And the batter, Keith Hernandez. It was Hernandez back in the 3rd inning. He tied the ball game with his 15th home run of the year. He's one shy of his high in home runs. Keith Comstock, the left-hander. Lance McCullers, the right-hander, warming. Curveball is low, 1-0 to Hernandez. The Mets have an off day tomorrow here on the coast and then play a 3-game weekend series at Los Angeles. Be on the air at 10:30 New York time right here on Sports Channel Friday evening. And the pitchers for that game, Sean Hilligus going for the Dodgers, Rick Aguilera for the Mets. Mets play Saturday. Ron Darling going against Fernando Valenzuela. A 10 o'clock start New York time, and then David Cohn goes against Bob Welch on Sunday afternoon. Game starting at 4:30 New York time. 2-1 to Hernandez.
We've had no further word on the fight between Phil Garner and Mike Marshall that took place before the game started. It happened on the Dodger bench prior to the start of the ball game, and we understand that Marshall got the worst of it and took off for home after the fight was over.
Fouled away, 2-2 to Keith. Another lovely evening, and today it was right comical, Ralph. The people here complaining about the humidity. It was about 60%, I guess. They don't know what humidity is.
Amazing, isn't it? They said what a hot day it was today, and the temperature was around 80.
Line drive, base hit to right. So Hernandez with his second hit of the evening, and Kevin McReynolds the batter. Keith now 2 for 2, and he's been on base the last 3 times.
Left fielder, Kevin McReynolds.
McReynolds has had a tough series against his former teammates. As you look at the bullpen for the Padres, he's 0 for 8 and missed 1 ball game. 0 for 5 in the first game, missed the second, and 0 for 3 in this one.
Fastball, a strike, 0-1 to Kevin. Montreal winning their game today, so they're now back to 5 behind the Cardinals. Very much in contention. Montreal with 6 games left to play against the Cardinals. The Mets with 6 games left to play against the Cardinals. Larry Boa concerned, on the other hand, with a building program here in San Diego, and really some bright spots. Randy Reddy, the third baseman, has done a fine job. Benito Santiago will be the National League Rookie of the Year in all probability. Fouled away, 1-2. Make that 2-2 to McReynolds. John Kruk is rapidly developing and one of the better hitters in the National League.
If they could get Chris Brown straightened out where he could play every day, they'd have a good third baseman. Their second base shortstop combination, I believe, would have to be improved for them to be a contender. They need a center fielder.
Well, more than anything, they need pitching, I think.
Oh, yes.
McReynolds down on strikes. That's strikeout number 9 for Whitson. But the Mets leading 4-3, middle of the 8th, and we're back after this. For 11, 12, and 13, and then the Cubbies come to town. There are tickets available for those 2 dates. 7:35, 2 nights, Monday and Tuesday, the 14th and 15th of September. Tickets for these and all remaining regular home games, except, of course, the 3 games we mentioned against the Cardinals, are available at Shea Stadium's advanced ticket window, or you can call 718-507-TIXX during regular business hours. Here's John Kruk, and he fouls one off left side. Kruk had a sacrifice fly in the first inning, RBI number 80 for John, and he's grounded out a couple of times. 4-3 Mets.
Well, the Mets continue to play him straight away in spite of the fact he's hit 17 of his 18 home runs to left field. Just amazing how they align against him.
Mazzilli almost straight away in right field, and the spot that's open for him is a spot you don't want open, right center. Curveball fouled away. Even the breaking ball he's hitting back to the left. Johnson properly on the line at third, however, as you see. There you see Wilson a little bit into left center, but look at the gap into right center field. John Kruk has proven he is a left field hitter. Breaking ball, 58-footer. Nice play by Lyons. It's 1-2.
Well, just alone in this ball game, he's hit a sacrifice fly to left. He's grounded out to third, and he's bounced back to the pitcher.
About 80% of the balls. His stroke is normally, you can just see him in batting practice. Normally to left. Ooh, just misses. 2-2.
Well, Jim Quick was slow with that right hand on that one. That was close.
So slow he didn't put it up.
Or maybe he was so quick we didn't see it.
Quick is quick. Breaking ball fouled away.
Fastest draw in the West. Did you see it? No. You want to see it again?
There's Deacon Jones, the hitting instructor of the Padres. Galen Cisco, their pitching coach. 2-2 to Kruk. Breaking ball again in the dirt, so it's 3-2 to John.
Mark Carrion is not with the Mets. He was brought up when they went to the 40-man roster, and Mark Carrion, due to the death of his father, left the ball club and will be gone several days. Father, one time a Major League ball player, and played for me here in San Diego, as did Deacon Jones.
Father Camilio passing away. Ground ball to Wally Backman at second. Over to Hernandez. A big out right there. 1 out. People at home saying, now wait a minute, I thought you said he didn't pull the ball. Well, you just don't count those balls. I mean, you're gonna tap a few to the right side.
Yeah, but you can get to those.
Yeah, that's
right.
hard
Hard hit balls you're trying to guard against.
What you're not in baseball, you try to defend against the rule, not the exception. Here's Benito Santiago. Now here's a guy you play straight away. He has shown he can pull. He can go the other way with power. 1 for 3 on the night. A booming double in the third that just missed going out.
He's hit 2 strong doubles to right field in this series.
And he homered to straightaway center in last night's game. 0-1 to Santiago. Looks like you got to bust him inside and throw him breaking balls away.
Although he is a good hitter, he's going to hit. Looks like a very strong talent.
Grounder toward third, so it's 0-2 on 2 breaking balls.
Harry Dunlop, the third base coach. Fran Healy says the greatest batting practice pitcher that ever lived. The Padres have one right here, although he's retired. Whitey Wiedelman, who is an outstanding batting practice pitcher and a Major League ball player, as a matter of fact, an infielder pitcher. Here's Casey Stengel's little bobo. He did pitch. He came in. He had a great arm.
He was an infielder and a pitcher?
Yeah, but he didn't pitch much in the majors. He pitched a lot in the minor leagues. And he used to sweep out the clubhouse in Boston for Casey Stengel. And Stengel always liked him for that.
Cleanup hitter. Huh?
That's right. He was really strong.
Line to right. So Santiago has shown that he can pound that ball any place, to left, center, or right. And he's at first with 1 away, and the batter Randy Reddy.
And he can steal a base.
He has stolen 18, Santiago that is. He's been caught 10 times. He attempted to steal tonight with Reddy the batter after he had doubled, and Reddy fouled it off.
Santiago has hit in 9 straight games and batted well over 400 over those 9 games.
Reddy 2 for 3 on the night. Outside and low, 1-0. No action in the Mets bullpen. Davey Johnson's going to, at least it appears, allow Gooden to finish this inning unless the roof falls in. It's 4-3 New York. 2 2-run homers, one by Hernandez, the other by Johnson. Line foul, 1-1. Goose Gossage, who has not appeared in the last 6 ball games, the right-hander. Mark Davis, the left-hander now for the Padres. Johnson playing ready on the line, and even though he doubled down the line the last time, I got to play him toward the fatter part of the field. It's Hojo. Up, picked him off. Santiago was going the other way, and Gooden nailed him. 2 outs.
Well, a big pickoff for the Mets. Santiago represents the time run. You could see he was going on the pitch, and he can't get back, and Gooden picks off Santiago. Big play for Dwight Gooden.
Larry Boa probably saying lean should be in meat, not in base runners. Dwight Gooden's 3rd pickoff of the year as he nails Santiago. Boy, what a big play that was. 2 balls and a strike to Reddy.
You could just see him leaning in that slow motion shot towards second base, and once you make that move, it's too late.
Had him by 2 feet at first. Base hit to left field. That's how important that pickoff was, and Randy Reddy has his 3rd hit of the night and the Padres' 10th of the evening.
Randy Reddy was 1 for 3 against Gooden prior to this ball game, so he's now had 4 hits in 8 times at bat against him. And he represents the time run. Gooden now has been reached for 10 base hits. Roger McDowell had been throwing in the bullpen earlier in the game, but he's not up now.
Gooden is scheduled up 9th in the 9th inning. And I know what you're suggesting. If he's not up, why is he not up? And I agree. Or I should say, was that what you were suggesting?
Yes,
I don't want to put words in your mouth.
I was just mentioning the fact that he is not up.
And I think
which is strange.
It's surprising. It is.
There have been some hard hit balls in this game and 10 base hits off Gooden.
Well, as you speak, Ralph, or as you finish speaking, Jesse Orozco now is up and throwing. Orozco, the winner in game 1. There's Jesse, probably throwing as well as he had all season long, retiring all 8 batters in 2 2/3. It's 1-1 to Templeton.
And listen to this stat. Jay Horwitz just brought it to us. This is the 5th time that Dwight Gooden has given up 10 hits in a game in his major league career.
Boy, that's mind-boggling. Only
and
the 5th
he has
time.
never given up more than 10. And he has a record of 70 wins and 23 losses. And that doesn't count as no decisions.
That is amazing. Only 5 times. Man, that's something. That's in 118 starts. There's Jesse warming. Tim Flannery, the on-deck batter. 4-3, New York on top. Reddy is a threat to run. He has stolen 6 in 9 tries. Two outs. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. 4-3. New York on top. Line sharply. Good play. Santana over to Backman. Boy, a fine play by Rafael Santana. No runs, 2 hits, 1 left. 4-3. New York after 8. Want to know, I think it's worthy to keep in mind that the Mets and the Padres are working with an expanded roster. And that could be very important. Barry Lyons, for instance, the on-deck batter, probably will not pinch hit for him. You see Lance McCullers warming. But Davy Johnson could pinch hit for Barry Lyons. John Gibbons has been called up. He's a catcher. But prior to this, you wouldn't even think about Lyons, and that's why Davey made the move to pinch hit for Gary Carter, pinch run for him back in the 7th inning.
He has some extra players now that you can go to more players, go to a 40-man roster, as a matter of fact, as of September 1st.
3-1 to Mazzilli, and he fouls it back. Maz looking for his first hit of the night. The Mets have 8 hits, Padres 10, but the Mets lead it 4-3. A 2-run homer by Hernandez in the 3rd, and a 2-run shot by Howard Johnson in the 7th, his 34th of the year. Lined foul, still 3-2 to Mazzilli.
Mets with a team record of 160 home runs this year. The record for home runs in the National League, 221. Held by the old New York Giants in 1947 and the Cincinnati Reds.
Strike 3. So Mazzilli, that ball had to tail back over the plate. That's strikeout number 10 for Ed Whitson. 1 away. So Barry Lyons, his first at bat of the evening, batting .231 on the year with 3 home runs, 1 a grand slammer. Whitson still throwing hard, 1-0. I have to laugh when I think of John Gibbons, because John Gibbons' last game at this ballpark, little tapper toward third, foul, 1-1, was the play and the game in which Lenny Dykstra, on the base hit by Tim Flannery up the middle with Gary Templeton on second, bottom of the 11th inning, 1 out. Dykstra threw out Templeton, and the catcher that night was John Gibbons, who recovered to throw to Howard Johnson to nail Tim Flannery. Your basic 8-2 to 5 double play.
What was more important, it saved a bus trip to the Ontario airport on the flight back to New York. Saved about 4 hours. Actually, that was one of the great defensive plays of last year.
Really a memorable effort on everybody's part, especially Dykstra and Gibbons. John in the ballpark tonight, and Barry Lyons draws a base on balls.
In the American League, checking out that scoreboard, Yankees beat Oakland by a score of 3-2 in 10 innings. Toronto over California 7-6. Detroit beat Cleveland 2-1. Seattle beat Baltimore 8-6. White Sox shut out Texas 5-0 on the combined shutout. Minnesota 5, Boston 4, and Milwaukee beat Kansas City 3-2.
And Howard Johnson, the batter, his last time up, a 2-run shot. And he lays off the slider. Count was 2-0 when Johnson hit home run number 34. One and 0 to Hojo. 89 RBIs right now. What a remarkable year he has had. Change up, grounded foul. 1-1.
Howard Johnson in his last 17 games with 22 base hits. He has had 7 home runs and he has driven in 15. Just continues to roll along. He's had a great series. He's had 7 hits in this series and 11 at bats.
Change up, outside and high. Johnson now tied with Jack Clark of the Cardinals for home runs with 34. And I believe he leads the Mets in game-winning RBIs. He does. He has 12. And if this holds up, make it 13.
Clark leads
3-1.
Clark leads the National League with 15. Hojo is certainly an MVP candidate.
Especially if the Mets win it. Little looper, right field. Same guy hit them both, they'll say on the bench. So Johnson, with his 3rd hit of the game, a single, double, and a home run. He's hitting over 285 now.
This is the play that we talked about with John Gibbons at home plate. Flannery hits it up the middle. Dykstra in center field fields it, throws home. Gibbons gets bowled over here by Templeton. The plate is blocked, and now Gibbons gets up and throws to third base, and Flannery is out at third on a double play that ended the ball game in extra innings as Johnson makes the tag.
How about Bill Webb coming up with that little jewel? Nice going, Webby. All right, crew here at San Diego really on their toes coming up with that double play. Ed Whitson's out of there, and it looks like Mark Davis will be the new pitcher, and the Mets are going to a pinch hitter too.
So the new pitcher coming in the ball game, and due up for the Mets, Wally Backman, but with the left-hander coming in, it's going to be Tim Tuffle. Tuffle in the ball.
Pitcher in the bottom of the ninth. Curveball, strike one, 0-1. Another curveball, but it misses low. The right-handed pinch hitters for the Padres, Bruce Bochy, Shane Mack, Luis Salazar, and Chris Brown. But Brown's availability is shaky. Otherwise, he starts the game tonight. Fastball on the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Tuffle. Johnson at first, Lyons at second, only 1 away. Outside and low, 2-2.
Davis was in the first game of this series, pitched 1 batter. That was Keith Hernandez, and got him to line into a double play. There's Dwight Gooden on deck.
Breaking ball hit deep to left, but not deep enough. Martinez back. Lyons tagging at second, but Carmelo throws it back in. So Tuffle drives Martinez to the warning track. And it's going to be Dwight Gooden. And I'm a little surprised right here, Ralphie.
Well, Dwight has been hit hard. He has given up 10 hits. And he has been hit hard in the last couple innings. So he has shown some signs of tiring, although it has not been an overpowering game for him. And they do have a Roscoe ready, but Gooden's going to hit, even though there is a runner at second in scoring position, and behind him a runner at first.
Davey may hit him and then go to Orozco, even though Orozco's set down. Gooden, a good hitting pitcher, hits it sharply, but a good play by Templeton. Well, we'll see what's going to happen. After 8.5, it's 4-3 New York. Tim Tuffle stays in the game. He'll be at second. And in right field, Mookie Wilson has moved from center to right. So, Ralph, I guess you got to believe that Davy Johnson is relying on the thoroughbred ability of that man right there.
Dwight Gooden, so far this season, he's had 4 complete games. He's pitched 2 shutouts. He has, if you want to count back, no shutout in this ball game, but he has had 15 in his career, and he has been a closer. There's no doubt about it. Mookie has moved over to right field from his center field position with Dykstra in the game.
Well, he's thrown a lot of pitches tonight. He has retired the Padres in order 3 times, but those other innings, they have had base runners all over the place. Padres scored 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the 6th. Now Orozco gets back up in the bullpen, and Flannery's the batter. Timmy 1 for 3 with a run scored on the evening, and there's Jesse. Ball 1. Marvell Wynn is now into the on-deck circle, but I would imagine if Flannery gets on, you may see Orozco. Tapper towards second. Tuffle to Hernandez, 1 away. And that'll bring up Marvell Wynn, who I believe is hitless lifetime against Gooden.
He is. He's 0 for 18 against Dwight Gooden.
Number 60,
Davies certainly doing his homework here and going with the percentages.
Wynn as a pinch hitter, 6 for 20 with 10 runs batted in, so he's had good success as a pinch hitter, hitting .300 with those 10 RBIs.
Curveball is low, 1 ball, no strikes to Marvell Wynn. 4-3, New York on top. Gooden looking for 2 more outs. Strike 1, 1-1. Popped up and playable. Santana back, and he squeezes it. 2 outs here in the 9th inning. Hernandez, as is his custom, out to talk to Gooden. And the batter, Stan Jefferson. The Mets trying to sweep the Padres and win their 5th game in 6 tries on this road trip.
And then go to LA with 3 games there before returning home.
Curveball for a strike, 0-1. Jefferson 1 for 4 with an RBI double in the 2nd. Outfield playing deep, of course, to try to keep Jefferson off second. And the fastball on the corner, 0-2. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jefferson. Just outside, a little high, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Stan. Tony Gwynn on deck.
Don't want to see him at the plate.
Liner, and you won't. Dwight Gooden wins his 13th game of the year, and the Mets sweep the Padres. Boy, I'll tell you, Ralph, Davy Johnson kind of looking inside to Dwight Gooden to allow him to finish this game. Outwardly, Dwight Gooden did not have his good stuff, but inwardly is where you look to that man. His 13th victory of the year, and he has had better starts, remarkably, giving up 10 hits for the 5th time in his career. But he wins tonight 4-3, and 2 big blows in this ball game for New York.
So Gooden with his 71st victory against 23 losses, and the Mets sweep the series here and move to within 3.5 games of the St. Louis Cardinals.
They win it 4-3, and we'll be back with a further wrap right after this. Tim McCarver along with Ralph Kiner and Fran Healy back here at Jack Murphy Stadium. Having a little tough time with my IFB here. The Mets win it 4-3 over the Padres to sweep them. 2 big blows in this ball game. A great job by Gooden, but 2 big home runs, Ralph.
Well, Keith Hernandez had one that put the Mets back in the tie in the game at 2-2, and then Howard Johnson with his 34th home run, and that put them on top, and they held on to win it by a score of 4-3. Outstanding game for the New York Mets, and they had to come from behind to do it as they fell behind 2-0. Gooden, not his usual self. He gave up 10 hits for the 5th time in his major league career. But in that 9th inning, a 1-2-3 9th inning, and he closed them out.
Yeah, you don't often see Gooden struggle, but not only did he struggle, but the Mets really up against a tough pitcher tonight. Ed Whitson striking out 10, and I think that's the sharpest I've ever seen Ed Whitson.
Well, his career high in strikeouts this year, and of course, Ed at one time was an outstanding pitcher for the Padres. Went to the Yankees and then came back to the Padres. Padres won hard. They're a tough ball club, but the Mets swept the series, and now on this road trip they have won 5 of the 6 games they have played, and they go to Los Angeles for their next 3.
That's after an off day tomorrow. They go to Los Angeles for 3, and then an 8-game homestand that should tell quite a bit. The Cardinals series sold out, but they play the Phillies 3 next week. Anyway, tonight they win it 4-3, and the totals on the ball game 4-8-0 for the Mets. Make that 9-0, 3-10-0 for the Padres. The Mets sweep them, and the Texaco star of the game this evening, Dwight Gooden, who wins his 13th ball game of the year. Remember, fans, Friday at 10:30, the Mets take on Tommy Lasorda's Dodgers in Los Angeles. We'll be on the air at 10:30. Fran and Ralph with their pregame remarks. And Sunday at 1:30, the Yankees host Gene Mock's California Angels right here on Sports Channel. For Ralph Kiner and Fran Healy, I'm Tim McCarver saying so long until Friday, and thanks for watching Mets Baseball on Sports Channel, the official channel of the New York Fan. Good morning, everybody.
Oh boy, is Ella there?
Sleepy? Sorry about the tangle at the end.
Okay. Oh, I got it. I'm all set. But Ellen, by the way, when we're done, why don't you meet me in the Padre? How long do you think this will take, kid?
Just 5 minutes. No, it's 2.5 what we have on tape already, and then whenever you want.
Okay, well, I won't be that long now. How long after I read will you be done?
10 minutes?
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll meet you in the Padre office.
Okay.
Okay.
So, Chief. Yeah. Okay.
sir. Meet you down in the office? Oh, yeah.
I hope so.
Thank you.
Right over that hill there, see that Silver Spring sign? It's right over there. 10 minutes. Yeah, I do. I really like it. America's finest city. Sick of hearing that though, really. There's murder and mayhem all over the place. I mean, they find bodies off the interstates, you know. Oh yeah, a lot, you know. Dump women's bodies in dumpsters on El Cajon Boulevard. No, but quite a bit. Once in a while.
We'll do yours first.
Okay.
Ready? That's still setting up the logo, but we'll do your voice. So intro it as Wednesday night, the rubber game, and then go into whatever you have to say. This way, Tim knows.
Okay.
Okay, stand by. Okay, anytime, Fran.
Okay. A Wednesday night, third game of the series against the Padres. Mets inside pitch, take one. The Mets had the broom out to sweep the Padres in the finale, and the doctor was going after his 13th victory of the season. The Padres jumped out in front in the top of the first when Tony Gwynn walked and Carmelo Martinez doubled. Then John Crook hit a sacrifice fly, and it was San Diego 1, New York 0. They struck again in the top of the second inning. Top of the bottom. Do it again. Sorry about that. Take two. Mets inside pitch. The Mets had the broom out to sweep the Padres in the finale. The doctor was going after his 13th victory of the season. The Padres jumped out in front in the top of the first when Tony Gwynn walked and Carmelo Martinez doubled. Then John Crook hit a sacrifice fly, and it was San Diego 1, New York 0. The Padres struck again in the second inning when Tim Flannery Okay. The Padres struck it. Let me just see this thing. Okay. The Padres struck again in the second inning when Tim Flannery singled and came around to score the Pad's second run on a double off the bat of ex-Met Stanley Jefferson. It was then 2-0 San Diego. Keith Hernandez hit his 14th home run of the season with Dave Magadan on base. Do that one again.
Came in for Gary Carter.
Yeah, I got that one. I just want to make sure that we get this.
Oh, I see where you are. Third inning.
Okay, here we go. The Mets came back in the third inning when Keith Hernandez hit his 14th home run of the season with Dave Magadan on base to tie the score at 2. Then in the sixth, Randy Reddy doubled and then scored on an RBI single by Gary Templeton, and San Diego once again had the lead over the Mets, 3-2. We go to the seventh inning when Howard Johnson hit his 34th home run of the year, driving in Keith Miller, who was pinch running for Gary Carter, and the Mets had the lead again, 4-3. The doctor completed his house call, and the Mets closed to within 3.5 games over the Cardinals by beating the Padres in the finale. How about you? Okay, thanks. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye. Oh, okay. Tuesday night, David Cone looked very impressive, allowing only 3 hits and 7 1/3 innings of work as the Mets routed the San Diego Padres 9-1. With the score tied at 1 in the 5th, Keith Hernandez hit his 14th home run of the season, scoring Mookie Wilson and Wally Backman and making the score 4-1 in favor of the Mets. Randy Myers came on in relief. He finished the ball game for the Mets, getting his 4th save of the season. Okay, read number 2 concerning Tuesday night's ball game. The Mets held the Padres to 1 run in Tuesday night's game in San Diego. David Cone pitched an impressive 7 1/3 innings, allowing 3 hits and striking out 7. Keith Hernandez hit his 14th home run off starter Jimmy Jones in the 5th inning, driving in Mookie Wilson and Wally Backman and giving the Mets a 4-1 lead. John Crook, who has been very hot against the Mets, was 0 for 4, and the Mets went on to win 9-1 as Randy Myers came on in relief.
Let's do one more, whatever, when you want to make it.
Okay, first one again. Tuesday night at Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego, California, David Cone looked very impressed. I'm sorry, it'll be a second game, so we're coming out of those highlights, so I'll do that again. Tuesday night, David Cone looked very impressive, allowing only 3 hits and 7 1/3 innings of work as the Mets routed the Padres 9-1. With the score tied at 1 in the 5th, Keith Hernandez hit his 14th home run of the season, driving in Mookie Wilson and Wally Backman, making the score 4-1 in favor of the Mets. Randy Myers relieved David Cone, who, I'm sorry, Ellen, I'll do that again. Okay. Do it again. Tuesday night, David Cone looked very impressive, allowing only 3 hits and 7 1/3 innings of work as the Mets routed San Diego 9-1. With the score tied at 1 in the 5th, Keith Hernandez hit his 14th home run of the season, driving in Mookie Wilson and Wally Backman, making the score 4-1 in favor of the Mets. Randy Myers came on in relief. He finished the ball game for the Mets, getting his 4th save of the season.